In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Hello and welcome to A Show Called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
You know, I was actually, before we started recording, I was thinking to myself, gosh, it's been a long time since it feels like a long time since we last recorded, and it's only taken a matter of minutes for me to feel it wasn't quite long enough. How...
Yeah. I always feel that way.
I'm
the
already
devil
at the point that I've had enough of both of you. So
Yeah.
there we go.
We're what are we? 25 seconds in.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a
bear in mind,
micro episode this week.
we talk
Yeah.
a little bit before we start recording. You know, just to warm up and remind each other that we're friends and why we're friends and what we
Yeah.
care about and what we've been up to. And that really is enough this time, I think. So
Well, we've been talking certainly for around about 13 to 14 minutes before we started recording.
you always time our conversation, so that's a weird thing you always do.
It's well that knocked off my sentence at the
I
end.
mean, some people might say he's counting up. I actually imagine he's counting down until
Yes,
his
yes,
eventual
absolutely.
release.
Yeah.
I feel like I've not interacted with you, Chris Ray, nearly
Oh.
at all in the last 2 weeks. What the devil have you been up to?
I
Something big, hopefully. Something huge.
have been having a lot of naps.
Okay.
Okay.
Not as huge as I'd hope.
I've been walking the dog a lot in between naps.
Sure.
When do you get your test results back?
Well, the doctor said I should be more awake any time now. But it's not happened yet. No, not a lot really. It's the same as you ask anyone at the moment. Everyone's just like, yeah, just, keeping on.
Yeah, this
Just
is
fine.
this is the death of the anecdote. Right now. This year, like 2020, is the death.
Are you wanting me to ask you, John?
No, I just care. I care.
I could pretend something really entertaining has happened if that is better audio.
No, it's...
Oh, my house.
Lies.
No, all right, no, I'm going to do it.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah. I was having a nap, right?
Start to the
That doesn't sound like you.
And my house was hit by a very small but potent piece of meteorite.
Oh.
Which broke a window, but didn't do any other cosmetic damage, but did rock the foundations and my confidence in the space program.
No cosmetic damage, but a little cosmological damage, am I right?
Oh, that's
I mean,
the one.
that's what you pay for, really.
Yeah, but apart from that,
What?
I've been having a lot of naps, walking the dog.
Shit, I've just realised I haven't paid for my meteorite insurance.
No, don't you think we're due one?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, well, I'm glad I asked. But
What have you been up? What have you
I
been
got
up to,
nothing
John?
to say. I was just being... I guess Nick is right. There's really nothing for anybody to say to anyone ever again, really. No, I
Not
was
in
just
2020.
curious.
Like, I'm desperate for the new year to kick in now because I honestly feel like it'll tick over to January the 1st and something's going to happen to me. And it's like, oh my God, this is the beginning of what life was like before the dark times, when I had stories to tell. But literally, we don't really meet up, of course, but like we'll like chat on a video call or whatever. And I've just like, what'd you get up to? I sat.
Yeah.
I
fucking sat.
I just can't stay awake past 9:30 at the moment.
No,
There's no reason
I do
to.
need a nap. It's very important that I have a nap during the day at the moment.
Just I've
During the
I'm
working
doing a lot
day.
more chores because Liz is very busy at work and I'm not, obviously.
Obviously.
So I've been doing all the chores.
good.
Okay.
So that's
Good.
something.
That's good.
I've been contributing to the household. About time too.
Has anybody gotten their Christmas decorations up?
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, we have.
You
We
can
got.
see there's some fairy lights behind me.
Oh, yeah, I see
Oh.
those.
You might be able to see them there. and
We,
there's some
for the first time,
Christmassy shit around here.
ever in my life as an adult, I decorated something external in the house. So we have a big bush out the front of our front door, and that is now glistening with LEDs.
Oh,
So that's pretty cool.
See, I walk past your house most days, but because it's in the daytime, I didn't notice.
There you go. If you looked out now, you would
Just
see
for my daily surveillance.
Of course, yeah.
Are
I understand.
they plugged in, Nick, or are they just kind of lit through the ambient electricity that's leaking off your property?
Yeah, it's my bioelectric field that powers them. No, they are plugged in. We had to I don't think they're outdoor lights, so I expect them to blow at any time.
The slightest shower and they will blow.
The slightest breeze. But there's a cable that goes from the bush, somewhat invisibly, up to a second-story window. Through a window that is closed and locked, but the cable is trapped in the seal of the window, and then it goes in and gets plugged in internally.
So is that like, I'm kind of imagining like a multi-tap adapter just hanging out the window, like
no,
all those sockets just upturned like a baby bird's mouth, waiting for rain to kind of enter them.
Please electrocute me, Lord Jesus Christ!
Put me out of this suffering, please.
We got some a few months ago, because of course lockdown and middle age, we ended up buying some solar powered outdoor lights that would hang in our tree, and we must have had them about a week before myself, being a gardening pro, was trying to clean my shovel. I was trying to get some dirt off my shovel, and I thought,
you got to keep a clean shovel, otherwise what's the point of anything?
That's what they say.
And I said to myself, I'm going to tap it against the tree in which the lights are hanging, so I can get the mud off it. And I mean, Chris Ray can attest, when it comes to any kind of accuracy test or like sport, I am not your man. And yet the first gentlest tap I made against the side of a tree just sliced right through the cable of these delightful new solar powered lights. And this might be a turning point in any married relationship, but I had to actually ask myself, am I going to tell Lucy? Or am I going to lie about this?
Yeah, you could just, like a week later, like, those lights haven't come on.
Those lights haven't come on, dear. That's weird.
What's that all about?
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Blame the cat. That's what I would do. Blame the cat.
Yeah, I think we should return them, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
I'm amazed that you cut through a cable with a spade. Like,
it was.
do you sharpen your spade?
No, it was the neck of the spade. It wasn't even the blade.
Bloody
That
hell.
can't have been a very strong wire.
No.
And why did it need a wire?
Well, you've got to connect all the bulbs together.
Yeah, I think Nick's.
Was it like a? It was like a string. I was imagining individual lights.
No. It was like a little chain of lights.
I see. I understand what it was. Used to be.
Honestly, it took less effort. I feel it'd be harder to push a knife through some butter than it's literally just tonk sliced.
Where did you purchase these lights?
I think they were B&Q's finest.
Oh. Well, that's not an entirely disreputable company. I was expecting you to say Poundland, and I was going to say you've only yourself to blame, but you said B&Q, so maybe blame them.
I'd blame BMQ if I was you.
Yeah.
BMQ.
B barbecue.
Blame them.
I will.
Good.
Has anything interesting happened in your life? I feel
I leveled up.
So we've got naps, we've got broken a wire with a spade.
And
come on, Nick, bring us home.
I'm 35 now.
Yeah. I mean, happy birthday.
Many happy returns to me. Yes.
That makes Nick the oldest of us, despite appearing the most youthful.
You could have said any word after appearing the most, but you said youthful, which I'm glad for.
I feel Nick is, aside from all the meat, generally has been quite a clean living man. Like never really a big drinker. I do wonder if lockdown has pushed you over the edge, or maybe just knowing us this long now. But before we went on air, it was actually you, Nick, who said, "I think I need a second drink right now."
Yeah, and you said, "Oh no, what's happened to you?" I think something to that effect. Yeah, I think that's probably 2020, and lockdown has probably contributed heavily to that and this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good birthday, despite being squarely in the middle of lockdown, and well, not squarely in the tail end, shall we say? But managed to get a nice takeaway, and Ali did her best to make it a happy day. So there we go.
She did her best.
She tried. She really tried.
Yeah.
Good, man. I'm glad.
I got a crokinole board, which I think I showed you, John, when you popped round. But for the benefit,
we didn't go inside. Yeah. Didn't go inside.
Didn't go inside.
John. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit.
It's true. He doesn't. Yeah, crokinole is like a big. It looks like a wheel of wood, probably about the size of a, I don't know, big wheel, I guess. Bigger than a car wheel, but smaller than a tractor wheel.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you so far.
Varnished wood with some markings on it and some little pegs in a circle in the middle, and a little very, very small recess in the very middle of it. And you have these polished discs, and the surface of it is polished as well. And you have to flick them, kind of air hockey-esque, to try and land that bullseye, land a disc in the middle. So it's kind of like a dexterity air hockey sort of game, but there's like points and stuff. Oh man, it's so good. It's so addictive.
You know that shove a penny kind of thing, Rev.
Shove halfpenny.
Back in sixth form, right? When we were meant to be learning, and instead everyone would just play
table
football with a penny.
You mean the shove a penny across a table in 3 goes?
Yes. Exactly.
I believe that's the official title.
It's a bit like that.
It's essentially that.
But imagine the arena, instead of the arena being a school desk, it is in fact a wheel.
It's an officially purchased arena.
Tractor wheel. Yes, exactly.
Okay, I understand.
I think you'd like it. I think you'd like it.
I think I would.
It's got sporty elements in it. It feels more sporty than a board game.
It enjoys a degree of sport, but also a degree of sitting down.
Exactly. Yeah, which is
the perfect amount. Yeah.
Can you do it sitting down, or do you need to lean in?
The rules are that you have to sit down. So the rules state that you must have at least one buttock on your chair, so you can lean to get a bit of a different angle on your shot. But there must always be a buttock on a chair. Yeah. That's in the rules.
Very important.
Okay. Good. Wow.
So your ass. It's ass centric. This game.
It's rare that any official sport or game mentions buttock.
Yeah. I believe that it uses the word ass. No, it doesn't. That's a lie.
We ended up watching that. I bet Rev's watched this. I bet Chris Ray has watched this.
Go on, hit me. Try me.
That We Are the Champions show.
Yes,
on Netflix.
I have watched. I watched the first episode of that because the first episode is based here in Gloucestershire. And it's about the cheese rolling.
Oh, is this about random sports then or something?
Yeah, it's about that's it basically. It's about random competitions across the world. And the first episode was the cheese roll, which happens about 15 minutes down the road from where we're sitting now.
Yeah,
we should go. I mean, we haven't gone because of a virus.
Well, yeah, this is like the first year
I think this year they rolled a baby bell down the hill just to commemorate it, but they didn't actually do it.
It was so weird watching it because they filmed it. I had to look it up. They filmed it at the 2019 one.
Great cheese games.
I remember watching it thinking, statistically, I must know somebody in the audience, at least.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Like, have you ever been?
Yeah.
No, I've never been. I was there. I was in the wood adjacent to that hill last weekend, though. Walking. And it is bloody hilly out there, let me tell you. Needed a nap afterwards.
Cheese, then.
Yeah, the Wikipedia article's got a photo of it, and it's like from the top of a hill looking down, and it's got like a little caption that goes, "Please note the hill is concave, so this photo does not do it justice as to how kind of crazy it is."
On the documentary, there was quite a good angle of it with a drone at the start of the episode where it goes straight up and you just suddenly see how actually steep it is. Because it starts quite flat and then it goes up and you're like, oh shit, yeah.
Is this like a worldwide show or is it just sports of the UK?
It's a worldwide Netflix program.
Yeah, because the second episode is all about a chili eating competition.
Yeah, I've not watched any others. I will though.
It's all right. We watched like 2 more episodes. The chili eating one is like, I get that. Well, I don't know if it's more or less stupid than throwing yourself down a hill, but like
it's debatable.
It was like the guy who, bear in mind, I have no heat tolerance at all. I'm just like the weakest person in the world. But it's the guy who bred the California Reaper, which at least for a while, it may have been overtaken, was like the hottest pepper in the world.
Sure.
Hot as chili.
Take your word for it.
You'd hate the look of it, Nick, because it's entirely nodules.
Oh no.
It's like nature wants you to know that it's evil. So it's all just crinkly and covered in bumps.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
And he sinks bread more and more kind of insane versions of it, and we were watching it. And
Oh god.
yeah, it's not good.
Oh, it's kind of like it's kind of like a melted yogurt pot, but also an evil one of those. You know?
The thing is with those chilies, and I understand that some people enjoy the heat and the challenge and blah, blah, blah.
Does anyone really enjoy it?
Yeah, but it's a form of just acceptance and making do. No one can enjoy doing that. What is the point of that?
I once ate a chili that a random
Of
man,
breeding that chili.
a random man came up to me in a nightclub once when I was a lot younger.
That's not how a chili story should start.
Well, I know. And he had a little leather wallet with a little zip around the
No,
edge.
this didn't happen.
No,
I mean, this is
This was a dream.
happened. No, I have friends.
This sounds sketchy.
I have
at
friends
the
that
moment.
can corroborate the dream. I mean that it happened. He opened a little wallet, and inside, held tight to the wallet with a little elastic band, were some red little chilies. And he was like, "Dare you to eat one of these?" And I did, and it ruined my night. It fucking ruined my night.
See, I wouldn't eat that if it was a gummy bear.
I know, this is the thing. I don't know why I ate it, but regardless of the fact that it was a fucking chili.
Go ahead, Nick. The stranger is offering you a treat.
I mean, what? They're fun.
Even if he'd opened his wallet and he'd had individual wrapped Cadbury's miniature heroes,
Yeah,
Sterilized.
I still wouldn't do that.
No, I'm not taking that.
Well,
It's the fact that if a stranger opened his wallet in a nightclub and went, "Have one of these." Okie dokie.
yeah, there was
You're the boss.
There was very little hesitation. I mean, where'd you get a chili wallet from?
He
'Cause,
goes,
I mean,
have a chili. And you, but be careful which one you pick. You know, wait, what do you smash cut to Nick?
Whoa,
He's got all of them. It is
Yeah, one of them is deeply cursed.
I was literally dribbling out of my mouth uncontrollably for about an hour.
You will be.
It was awful.
Did it ruin your night because it was hot, or did it ruin your night because it was actually stuffed full of primo gank?
Heroin.
And you
Yeah.
I guess we'll never know. I mean, I imagine that any drugs that may have been injected or sewn into that would have been rendered immobile by the power of the chili. Because honestly, it was the craziest thing. It's not like any chili you've ever bought from a supermarket or anything. It was mind-blowing. I've never felt like that in my life, and I never will again. I can safely say.
did this man hang out with you afterwards? Could you get to know him?
I don't know if he was ever really there. Like he disappeared as swiftly as he appeared. He left the club. I think not long after. Me and my friend both had one. My friend Chris at the time. And he is like super cautious, super cynical, super careful. Like the most like, you know, grown-up guy for his age. And he was just like, yeah, let's get involved. I don't know if we were drunk or what, but it was a bad choice all round. We're lucky to be alive.
I feel like
I wouldn't do that.
I feel like you were living out a kind of government safety advert which had been put out. Only like they were using some cunning metaphor instead of drugs, you know.
Yeah. Look how
It's like one of those "the more you know" infomercials in America. It's like, so you're at a club, you're with your friend, you and your friend are dancing, you're having a good time, you're having some drinks. A stranger comes up to you, gives you a chili. Wrong. Don't eat the chili.
First step. Does he have a little
The more you know
leather
pops up
wallet
on the screen.
Does a stranger come up with a little leather wallet and offer you a treat from his wallet? Don't take the treat from the stranger's wallet. It was the wallet that was the biggest thing for me. Like, I mean, I don't know why you would go out for a night out with some chilies anyway. But to keep them in a little wallet, it was just very weird.
It adds a certain sinister element to the proceedings.
It does.
Maybe he just was like super lonely, like he just really wanted to make friends, and so like
But he didn't.
Maybe he thought they were nice.
He didn't
He was
stick
like-
around to make the friendship like last.
or maybe it's more like he had to travel to another small town nightclub to help another young man find himself, kind of.
See, the thing is that the strategy for me would be, I want to make friends, right? And I have this little wallet of chilies, which I've been given by a wizard or something. Like, I know what I'll do. I'll go to the local nightclub. I'll offer a chili to a drunk idiot child.
Yeah.
He'll eat the chili, and then he'll, like, be dying. And I'll be there on hand with a bottle of milk. And I'll be the hero who saves the day. And he'll forget that he got the chili from me in the first place. He'll drink the milk. He'll be safe. And I'll be a friend. That's how I operate.
Nick, I see your reasoning, and it's sound. But while I might be willing to accept a chili from a man in a nightclub,
Not milk.
if a man had a room temperature glass bottle of milk in his hand,
No. He's got a wallet of milk. He's got another wallet of milk.
Yeah. just unfolds when the wallet opens.
Or like he opens his wallet and it's just full of those little canisters of milk that you get in like hotels.
That's right. And he puts it in his
Drink
teeth.
Drink these.
He puts it in his teeth with the opening outwards, and he goes, "Open your mouth." And he bites down and squirts it into your mouth.
Oh God! What a night! What a great night!
Let me motherbird this milk to you, my child.
The thing is, I can only tolerate milk if it's utterly ice cold and like fresh out of the fridge.
Me too.
I had a roommate, a housemate at uni, and he studied politics, I think, which meant he had like 2 hours of lectures a week, and we never saw him because he just slept all the time. And he'd wake up at like 1 PM, make himself like a bowl of cereal, which was very heavy on the milk, like a low wheat to milk ratio. He'd have like 2 spoonfuls, get bored of it, and just leave it. So the house was just full of like half full bowls of sour milk.
Oh,
Lovely.
no.
It's really rank, really bad.
Yeah. That's what the wallet of milk would be like, I think.
What is the worst thing that's happened to you in a nightclub? I've got the answer.
I know. I think I know the worst thing that's happened to you in a nightclub because I've seen it.
What do you?
no.
But
What is it?
are we allowed to broadcast this?
Well,
I'll tell you what I think it is, and you tell me.
Okay.
I don't think you're thinking of the same thing. So this happened. These two things happened in the same nightclub on the same night. So it's a club called the Underground in Stoke, and I was a bit. It was closed now, unsurprisingly.
This isn't it.
It was a shit.
This is why.
I went to the toilet at this particular nightclub because I had a bit of a dicky tummy.
Oh, no.
So I was sitting, and it was a horrible toilet.
Express nightclub chilies. You don't want.
Yeah, it's the nightclub. That was the problem. So I was sitting on the toilet, minding my own business. I was there a while, to be fair. and without warning, a bouncer bursts in, just picks me up by my t-shirt, and just starts searching me for drugs in my pants around my ankles. What? And I'm like, I've never done drugs in my life. I'm just having a poo.
Well, I was.
And he going, yeah, fair enough. And he just let me go. He went and sent me back out.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then
That's a great
later that
excuse.
same night,
Wait, sorry. He sent you back out.
yeah.
Didn't let you wipe or anything. Just like
I can't remember.
trousers around your ankles.
No, I do remember. He dragged me into like the foyer area out the front and sort of patted me down. I was sort of pulling my trousers up as I was being pulled in that direction. Going, oh, what's
Why did he suddenly come for you?
And then, yeah, because I was in the toilet for a while and it looked suspicious. I guess.
And you were screaming.
Yeah.
Which...
Yeah. Anyway, I went back into the nightclub, and then later that evening I got punched in the face for no reason. And I was like, that was a bad night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was not a good night. John's probably thinking of something that happened in Portugal, I reckon.
No. I could think of that, but no, I was thinking of the time you started throwing up in your hands.
Oh yeah.
On the nightclub.
Yeah.
Floor.
No.
Yeah.
And then still throwing up into your cupped.
Yeah.
Into your cupped hands. You ran all the way to the toilet.
Yeah. Thing is, that would be the worst thing that's
bad.
happened to me in a nightclub, but that has happened more than once. So this one in Stoke differentiates from others. That's why it's the worst.
My good friend Tom has quite a good story where he was the same nightclub, in fact, that I had a random chili wallet experience, but I wasn't. This wasn't the same time. My friend Tom went upstairs, which is where the toilets were, and he leant against the window frame that looked out into the high street below.
Here we go.
While he was peeing, and the whole window just fell out of the wall of the building and fell into the road below.
Brilliant. I mean, I assume nobody died.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
We'll never know for sure. Don't look it up.
Thinking back, aren't they all bad experiences?
Yeah, I didn't really. Looking back, I didn't really enjoy it.
I think you're right. Like, I think we always went out hoping it would be a night where it was like the legendary night, you know? Like, everyone's got that one time, that one story where everyone had a really great time, where everyone was just the right amount of drunk.
Yeah.
Where we were drunk enough to not give a shit, but not drunk enough to die. And we were always chasing that dragon, and we never, ever found it.
All of my best nights out have been in bars or pubs, certainly.
Yeah.
rather than at a nightclub.
rather than clubs.
I mean,
yeah.
I won't bring it up again because I know I think we've touched upon it many times. But you did also once end up impaling your leg on a metal spike.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
That was a bad one. So that was again in Cheltenham. Although this one was in Cheltenham. We went out on a Tuesday night, and I don't know why. We sort of ended up going out on a Tuesday night.
Our good friend, Will Train.
Will Train was visiting. And we'd been to a pub.
Yes,
got to go out.
and the night ended at a sensible point.
Yeah,
kind of like 10:30, 11. You know.
Oh,
some people have work.
That's true, especially on a Wednesday.
And then we me and James Eastwood, Snowy, who I think listens to this podcast, thought, why don't we pop into the nightclub and wet our whistles?
Let's just pop in.
Let's just see
if anyone's around.
I think I'll have a nightcap before going home.
Scene missing.
Lovely, yes. And then cut to let's say 4 or 5 hours later, I'm struggling to find my way out of this nightclub, which I've been to dozens of times probably at this point.
It's very easy to get out.
Certainly a number of times. Anyway, and it's real easy to get out. But for some reason I couldn't find my way out. So I thought, I'll hurdle this fence with lots of spikes on the top of it. And I hurdled it successfully, and I, in my mind at the time, dropped into a lovely forward roll, hopped up, and I just walked home. I was like, great, good, that's sorted. I'm on my way home. I've got work tomorrow. Lovely. And this was about 3:30. Something like this on a Tuesday.
King of men.
I got home and got undressed to go to bed, and it was just my leg was just covered in blood.
Oh, that's smart.
My leg's wet.
It was just covered in blood, and it turns out I had impaled my shin on the spike of the fence whilst I jumped over it.
You've still got a massive scar.
Yeah, I've still got the scar on my shin now.
Like a gouge.
This was about what was this? 12 years ago,
2010, maybe? 2009 sort of thing.
Yeah, about 10, 11, 12 years ago. And yeah, there's still a fairly big hole, which hurts in winter.
Thing is, we can joke about it, but now, God knows we laugh.
It's funny. It's funny because I didn't more seriously hurt myself.
You did have a very neat triangular-shaped hole in the front of your shin. Which
I went and played five-a-side football on it the day after as well.
Yes,
which I shouldn't have done.
You shouldn't have done
that. But here's where I come in, because as the quote unquote boring housemate, having got back from Lucy and I hadn't long been going out, and we started going to
what a way to make an impression.
Well, indeed, believe me, any illusion she had about you was shattered pretty early.
Let's not worry about that.
We'd gotten back from we'd gone to training, we'd gone to Aikido, and you got back from five-a-side football, and you came in your football kit with duct tape and kitchen roll around your leg in a kind of homemade bandage.
Yeah,
and
it would have had I not eventually gone to A&E, it would have healed a lot worse, or not healed.
Yes, well, we peeled the wrapping back, and we were like, "That's bad. That's not good."
It was bad.
Yeah, in hindsight.
But there you go.
Hindsight's
anyway, I've got a hole in my leg, and it hurts in winter. But apart from that, I'm pretty good.
I'm trying to think about again. I do maintain that they are mostly all bad experiences in a club.
Yeah, certainly mostly
in the club.
But this didn't quite happen to me, because there's probably worse ones which I've blocked out. But I remember it was at uni, and we were in the university club. God knows, I can't remember what it was called now.
The club.
It was just cheese. But it was like the cheese night, not the indie night, and a few of us were on the dance floor, and some guy, no idea who he was wasted. He started dancing a bit too close to our friend Debbie, and she didn't like it. She was like, "No, go away, mate." She pushed him away, and he was so drunk. He may have also just been an asshole, because he punched her in the face.
Oh God.
Whoa!
Jesus!
Like.
I mean, that's not just being drunk.
No. Like,
there's a lot of asshole in that.
There's a lot of asshole in that. Now, Debbie was hard as fucking nails, and she was like, "The fuck have you done?" And she was like gonna tear him apart. She probably would have done, But like as a group, we all kind of just like leapt in to get this guy away from her.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of a blur. We all kind of just like stepped in and did you know, kind of like, and I don't know how, it was all a blur. I ended up behind the guy, holding his arms behind him.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Thank you. Yeah. And
Well,
I'm like,
in case he punched again.
well, to some
he
extent,
struck
yeah.
again.
But I was like, oh, this is great. Like all our mates, we've all jumped in to help our buddy who's in trouble.
What team effort.
And I was like, I've got him, guys. I've got him. And they've all grabbed Debbie and ushered her off the dance floor.
Oh, so you're just stuck with
You're
him.
just stuck with him on the dance floor, holding his hand.
I'm alone in the middle of the dance floor, holding this guy's arms behind his back. And I swear, like a couple of moments passed where we were just kind of standing there in complete silence. And then I just kind of like let go. And he just like trotted off into the night. Like,
I think the way to ride that would have been to start dancing and to just ride it off as like a move.
Just like spin him out from you.
Yeah, and then just be like, on your way, good sir, and then just fuck off.
and then just legged it. I remember East 17,
Oh, yeah.
the band, played at my graduation ball.
Great.
Half of East 17.
I think a
was
lot
like
of those
the two
sorts of bands did
guys-
the circuits, didn't they?
The bad half.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I'm not saying East 17 were good, but these guys didn't even like write the songs or contribute. They turned up 40 minutes late after having gone to the wrong university. There's another university in Leicester. Did
God.
one song and got booed off stage, and then just kind of screamed like "fuck you, Leicester" and walked off. And I remember sitting and chatting to someone behind the stage as they just kind of like blitzed off into the night. That's a nightclub experience. I remember that.
Yeah, that's
a
nice.
memorable
That's a good
thing.
one. Well, there we go. Well, I think we all agree that nightclubs are a joined hate that we all don't like.
Being stuck at home for a year is actually a blessing.
In many ways, yes.
Gentlemen, there's a format to this show.
Yes.
I'll have
We're
you
only
know.
32
Who?
minutes in to introduce that format to new listeners.
But that's good. It means we're warmed up. We're
warm. Look at the. I feel like comedy inside me. It's bursting to
So
get
it's
out.
just
comedy
it's
is
completely
live.
unscripted. This show, you'd never guess.
Get ready to get your comedy mouths around my hate.
Oh,
Here we
Nick's
go.
going for it. Okay.
I'm going for it. I hate grating cheese.
Oh, no.
I fucking hate it.
Man of the people.
Can I just clarify? Can I clarify? You hate
Clarify.
grating cheese, or you hate grated cheese?
I very much like grated cheese. I
don't
really like
grating
grated
it?
cheese. I don't like the process. I don't like having to do it. I'll buy a bag of it, sure, but I don't like having to.
But
do
effectively,
it.
then you're paying extra for someone else's
So much
time,
extra.
more than the cheese, aren't you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? If you
What's
grate
wrong with the
cheese-
grating process? Yeah.
Like, there's two ways I feel and believe me, if you have some like incredible hack, like life hack,
No!
I
Don't
I'm
open the door
desperate
to
hear
this
it.
bullshit.
Don't encourage that.
Hey, listeners,
Hey,
Get
hey,
in touch.
internet.
send me a device to my fucking PO box that I don't own. Right, you've got two options in my opinion. Right, one, hold the block of cheese with your sweaty little hand. Right, and the more you hold it tight, because you got to hold it quite tight, and rub it on the grater, the sweatier the bit you're holding will get until you come down to the nub where your fingertips are, and that's problem B as well. How the fuck do you get around? You got a smaller and smaller piece of cheese, and it's closer and closer to your fucking bones that are going to get grated. And on top of that, that last bit of cheese has now become like a bit of warm putty in your hands because you've been holding it tightly. And so that last bit of cheese you grate is inevitably a sweaty little mass. That's option one.
Can you not just eat that bit though?
Yes.
Well, you can, but like I'm wanting to grate a decent amount of cheese here. I can't be eating my cheese as I go. You know. Second thing, I use the packaging to hold the cheese. Right.
Yeah, I was
So-
going to suggest that.
Yeah, but then what you get is the packaging gets caught in the grater, and you get little flakes of plastic in there. Inevitably.
It sounds to me like you're just not very good at it.
Well, I've been trying for a long time, and I'm not getting any fucking better. I'll tell you.
Nick,
John's speechless. John has been rendered speechless by this.
I'm trying to find a way. I'm trying to find a charitable way of saying that in the time I've known you, Nick, I've never I've never seen or witnessed you let anything come between you and your protein. So
especially my cheese.
Yeah. So why the grating? Like, why can't you?
What are you grating it for?
Yeah. What void are you trying to fill?
Ali and I have recently dabbled in HelloFresh, which is, for those that don't know, a service where you get sent food, like all the pieces of food.
That's it.
What's that called? Ingredients. There you go.
Spot on.
And you get a recipe card, and you get to you cook it, but they sort of provide everything in pre-portioned amounts, which we're really only doing because there's a big old offer on at the minute, and we're going to get a load of recipe cards out of it, which we can then continue to cook afterwards. But a lot of these recipes seemingly have called for grated cheese, and they come with this very small block of cheese about the size of a dice, and I've got to grate that somehow without my blood or plastic or bone getting into the mix.
I reckon I've grated many a cheese in my day. I can't think of a single time, and bear in mind I'm a guy with a hole in his leg. I can't think of a single time that I've cut my hand on a cheese grater.
Well, I haven't either, I don't think. Or at least, I hope fucking not. But the point is that I don't ever let it get close enough, so I have this huge amount of cheese
It sounds like you're scared to take a risk.
I can't grate, because if I do...
I think that's the problem.
Oh, is that... I'm not...
Yeah, when you're going to step
enough.
up to the cheese precipice...
Throw yourself off.
You know...
But do you guys just have the regular grater? The grater that looks like a cowbell?
I have 3 of them. I don't know.
Why?
We have a kind of like flat grater, like a washboard, but with a handle on it.
Oh, I know it. Yeah.
But we don't actually keep cheese in the house.
Why?
What?
Why?
You don't have cheese on hand?
What did it do to you, John?
We don't eat cheese.
Oh.
So you have
I'm saying it out loud. I'm kind of just realising, we just don't have cheese in the house.
You grated an egg not that long ago.
You did.
I did, yes.
Yeah, I mean...
Thus ends the anecdote.
I'm just saying you have used the grater recently, was my point.
I have no issue with the grater. And believe me, if there was a pile of grated cheese in front of me, I'd be going hog wild right now.
Yeah. I grated cheese earlier this evening.
Did you?
Tell us about it. What was your technique?
Yeah, please do.
Well, I pick from column A of Nick's options because I've never thought about how sweaty the cheese gets. Because I'm going to eat it anyway. It's only my sweat. I mean,
you get this putty bit of cheese at the end.
Yeah. Well, I probably, to be honest, that's unconsciously, give it to the dog because she loves cheese.
Ah, that's the answer. We should get a dog.
Yeah, get a dog. Give the cheese to the dog.
How is your dog's general kind of flatulence?
Oh,
kind of
her farts could. If we give the dog peanut butter, her farts could wake the dead.
Oh,
she does fart generally, but they're not quite so bad as long as you don't give her peanut butter. I cannot stress that enough.
Does peanut butter make her fart more or smell worse or both?
Smell worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it? Is it a frequency thing? Are we talking like more farts or fewer farts, but of greater intensity?
The same level of farts, but they smell a lot worse. She tends to fart when she stretches.
How often does she fart per day?
Oh, that's a good question. 6 times maybe per day.
6 times a day,
roughly.
Okay. Roughly, sure.
So but it's usually when she stretches, you just hear it. It's quite funny.
Does it sound like a human fart?
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
So, Nick, I mean, you.
Hello.
I have lived with you. I've lived with you, Chris Ray.
I remember it. Yes.
But
I haven't lived with Chris though.
No.
We should bring it.
Maybe we should move in.
Yeah, we should do that. We need to make it full circle.
Yeah.
Then we could all be in each other's bubble.
Yeah.
Household.
Technically, we could.
I'll
pass.
What was I going to say? How often are you eating the cheese, Nick? In general, like, is it
the grated cheese?
Just in general.
This is like an intervention. This.
I mean, I have cheese in the house. Like that's something I always make sure to have.
Yeah.
In some form or another, there'll probably be some Philadelphia in the house at any one time.
Some Philadelphia.
There'll probably be some bastard cheese to call back to episode 1.
Yeah.
And there will probably be a block or a pre-sliced pack of a more premium cheese, if you will, something like a mature cheddar or a Gouda or something.
I love a purple cheddar, number 3.
Oh yes, three up.
3
definitely.
is the most mature of the cheddars, and it's purple packaging.
Wait, is that a universal cheese ranking, or is that?
I think you
don't
can
know.
get a 5.
I don't
think
know.
it goes up to 5. It goes up to 5. I'm
Oh.
pretty sure. I think there's a 1 to 5 rating.
Yeah, we have quite a lot of cheese in our house. We have halloumi as well in the house at the moment.
Ooh.
I kind of imagine the 5 ranking of a cheese is a bit like the periodic table, where when they hadn't discovered all the elements, they left blanks for where they knew
Yes.
it would fit.
Nobody has number 5. Only dickheads have number 5.
The thing about number 5 cheese is that it has a very short half-life, so it it goes back down to 4 and then 3 after not very long.
Yeah, the cheese technicians were like, we know future generations will one day breed a 5 ranker, but we.
It's theoretically possible, but we've never seen.
Is it morally right? I do not know.
They never stopped to ask if they should.
We'll give them enough rope to hang themselves with.
My dream is to make a 6. One day I will do it.
Yeah.
John's going to talk about Canada.
Oh,
For
God.
God's sake.
In-
We need to start tracking this.
This needs its own theme tune, this bit.
In
Canada! There we go.
in Canada,
Oh.
Yeah. Canadian land.
in Canada land, all the dairy, here's a fun fact, was
Oh, sweet.
controlled by the government.
Really?
Yeah. So
But what does that mean?
that means that it wouldn't be like, I'm going to go to the supermarket and, ooh, what cheese shall I buy? I'll buy is it going to be some Cathedral City or some, what's another cheese brand?
Laughing
Baby
Cow.
Bell.
Laughing Cow. It'd be
Laughing
like,
Bell.
I'm going to go to the cheese aisle in the supermarket and I'm going to buy cheese.
Cheese 00127445
Hello, one cheese,
Alpha.
please, vendor.
And it'd be like, it was the same. So yeah, it's like milk.
I like to think that the label has a government stamp on it, and it just says next to it cheese example.
cheese flavored brick.
But that's a weird thing. They would come in bricks. They were kind of like the dimensions of a very big bar of chocolate sort of thing. So they'd be
Okay.
like a plank of wood. They'd be quite long and
Like a 2x4 sort
yeah,
of.
yeah. And they came in 4 levels of intensity from it was mild, medium, strong, and very strong.
So you couldn't get cheddar or Cheshire or Lancashire
No.
cheese. It was just cheese.
Well, here's the thing, if you went to a specialist kind of thing, like a deli counter, you could get
What, like a speakeasy? Like a cheesy.
please,
a speak cheesy.
a cheese easy. Thank you.
Cheese
Yeah.
easy, yeah.
A speak cheesy.
But yeah, you could get fancy bespoke cheeses, but in the cheese aisle, it would just be these different colored bricks ranging from pale white to slightly off yellow.
Why did Canada want to control the cheese?
I don't know.
What do they stand to gain?
What do they know that we don't know?
They had, honestly, you had to buy the extra strong to get anything approaching flavor out of them.
Oh.
They were so bland.
I remember when I came to visit you in Canada, I felt that way about sausages. I was like,
really?
there are no sausages in this country.
Oh, I wouldn't like Canada.
It was
at
very
all.
disappointing.
Well, there were street dogs, which I think
Yeah,
Nick would love.
well,
Oh, I'd like that.
but not like what you would like a Lincolnshire sausage, for example, or a Cumberland sausage.
Ooh, a Cumberland. Ooh,
No, it was weird.
There was nothing like that. It was like
sausage alpha.
what I'd call a Frankfurter, like a almost like a processed thing. Yeah. None of what I would call a normal sausage in this country.
All,
And obviously, I never noticed the cheese thing, but I believe
them-
you based on
all
that.
their milk came in bags as well, which was weird.
like a satchel.
Yeah, you'd buy
They just cut off the cow's udder and put it in a
Oh
bag.
no!
you'd buy a fleshy bag of milk, and everyone had a custom plastic jug which would live in their fridge.
That you'd sort of put it in and tear the top
and
off
you
of.
put the sock in the sock of milk, and then
milk sock.
you'd cut the top off, and now you've got a milk jug in your
Yeah,
fridge.
lovely.
Is that less packaging or more? I can't really work it out.
Less, I think.
I guess that's the dream.
But again,
In Canada, were they able to grate their cheese? That's the question.
I don't know. I do know that I had a Canadian come up to me and ask, being that I was from Britain, whether sheep could jump.
Oh.
What? In a supermarket?
Did you
You're
know the answer?
Well,
I'm
you
trying to buy
I think they
some
can.
sheep.
I think they can.
He said, like,
Yeah, I think
I
they
know. He said, "You're from Britain, right?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Can
Yeah.
sheep jump?" And I didn't have an answer for him.
Well, isn't one of the ways to fall asleep if you're struggling to imagine sheep jumping over a
it,
fence?
which must mean biologically they can.
Yeah, but
there you go.
they're dream sheep. It could be anything.
I mean, I think I've seen a sheep. I've been to the
But
Yorkshire
why
Dales
wouldn't
a
you
lot.
then imagine something more fun?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
a
Why wouldn't you
peasants.
think?
What do they know back in the day?
Well, to fall asleep, I don't know. Picture a sheep knitting. I don't know. That would be more fantastical than a sheep jumping over a fence if it couldn't do it.
Well, why not?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a sheep jump in my life.
There you go.
I think I have seen. I think I can say now. I can put this to rest and say a sheep can jump.
I'm pretty sure sheep can jump.
I'm pretty sure every well, not I was going to say bipedal. That's not a sheep. I think any animal with legs in this world can probably jump to a degree.
Can an elephant jump?
No,
Yes.
I was going to say elephant. I
I reckon an elephant could squat down on all four of its tree trunky legs, and it could get an inch off the ground if it jumped. I reckon it could do it.
That
It might break all of its legs, but it could do it.
Yeah, it might be the last thing it does.
that was a myth. There was a myth about elephants, which I think has been disproven now, that they were the only animal with 4 knees.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
Think about it, eh? Mm.
It is funny actually because elephants, all their 4 legs bend the same way, don't they? Whereas like a cat, for example, or a dog, their back legs bend the other way,
See,
like demon feet.
that's true.
it only sounds stupid, and then you think about it.
But I remember also hearing from another podcast, a competitor's podcast, which I won't name,
no.
that horses don't have legs; they just have fingers. Like their horses' legs are actually biologically, skeletally fingers,
Well,
which is horrible.
their lower legs are.
Oh, they're from their sort of knee down.
Yes,
That's still awful.
Well, then why have they only got one finger on each limb?
kind
Yeah.
of.
They sort of evolved
Don't
that
like
way.
Not
Like-
a fan of that.
Like the sort of one finger grew up to knee point, and the fingers just evolved away into nothing.
Yeah.
You know what's-
Horrifying.
You know what's weird? Cetaceans, so whales, dolphins, porpoises, like a lot of mammals, they mostly all mammals. Shut up, John. Yeah, but
Shut up, John.
the evolutionary
Shut up, John. All mammals, obviously.
evolutionary processes, life emerged from the oceans, diverged, came into different forms. Mammals turned up. They're generally furry, kind of warm-blooded, got limbs,
Like me.
run around. And then some of them went, hey, I think the ocean looks good. I'm going to go give it another shot. And they went back into the ocean. And they eventually
Good call.
evolved into whales and dolphins. But the mad thing is, if you see the evolutionary ancestor of what became like a whale, it's like a furry 4-legged thing, but it's got like its biggest difference was its legs ended in toes, but every toe had one big hoof on it.
Oh no!
So like
No, I don't like that at all.
it's like a horse.
So it's walking on its fingertips,
essentially, yeah.
but it's got hoofs. Oh, that's
Yeah,
horrid.
it didn't go in for like claws, it went in for hooves.
Does that mean that in a way our fingernails are kind of like hooves?
Yeah, I think they're made from like the same sort of thing.
I'm going to start calling my fingernails hooves now.
My hooves.
That's what I'm going to do.
So cheese.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Back to the- Another thing I don't like about Great
Oh yeah.
is that it just goes everywhere. Like
It's
there's
coarse.
no like
It's coarse. It's rough.
and it
it gets everywhere.
it gets everywhere.
Not like here where everything's soft and smooth.
Cheese is nothing like Natalie Portman. So
No.
like you can have the perfect setup, get your grater over a bowl, colossal bowl if you will, and grate. And I swear to you, I would bet everything I have that at least one grated piece will not go in that vessel that you have designated.
Isn't that
Don't say
Flo-
user error.
No, I was going to say that floor cheese or side cheese, that's really your cheese. You know what I'm saying? You know
That's
what I'm
mixed
saying?
cheese.
That's our little secret. No one needs to know about that. Why is it that grated cheese tastes so amazing, like versus regular cheese?
Is it
Does it though, or is that just a
is it the surface
psychological
is
thing?
it the surface area argument?
It might be the surface area argument.
Yeah, the surface area argument, that well-known argument that everyone knows. There's more surface area for you to encounter the cheese flavour. But also, grated cheese allows you to...
But it's the same amount of cheese.
Not if you are eating a block of cheese, which I've done. I've eaten it as a block.
But surely you're eating the same cheese.
Think about it. Take a bite, and you'll only taste the outer of that nugget of cheese. Whereas there's all that flavour surface inside.
Don't you
You'll
chew?
swallow it real quick. No. I've got to get it down.
I've got to get it down. Otherwise, it's not happening.
Thing is, like when like if you're a coffee connoisseur, they say like, oh, you've got to slurp it. You've got to get a bit of air in because air brings out the flavour. Maybe it's the same with cheese. Like
maybe it's the same with
if
cheese.
it's grated, you got air pockets, and that's really lets the.
There's a very good video to watch if you haven't seen it, which has done the circuits, so you may have done. But someone puts melted cheese into one of those chocolate fondue things, and the way those things work is that it's a chocolate fountain. They have like a spiral up the center axle which pulls the chocolate up and then it pours down over the top, but cheese isn't a liquid.
Well,
so that spiral is spinning with a motor, and the cheese just like Newtonian solid style just becomes a whip, like Indiana Jones, just flying round the room, smacking this guy in the face, knocking all of his stuff off the table. And it gradually lifts the whole fountain mechanism up out of the base. And that just falls off. And now there's this exposed like screw of metal with this whip of cheese just flying around. And there's this guy just sat there like terrified, like,
wait,
as this cheese wins.
Did he melt the cheese or not?
Yeah, I was going to say, did he not
did.
think to melt it first?
He did melt it, but the thing is that it doesn't take long for it to cool and essentially become like a rubbery solid again. And sure enough, it did. So, yeah, it didn't work out as well for him.
I've got a hate.
Oh, yeah?
I hate the mid to late 90s to early 2000s trope of surfing on something equals cool.
Oh.
Now, I feel...
Is this the Poochie paradox?
I feel the genesis of this and is like early internet kind of like you might go to like your local news agency, there'd be a book called like Surfing the World Wide Web, and it would be like a kid probably wearing sunglasses in a very baggy t-shirt on like a keyboard. Like he'd be using a keyboard as a surfboard, and he'd be going like, whoa. And Lucy and I, just last night, in fact, were randomly talking about old musicians, and we were like, oh, where are they now? What happened to them? And we briefly mentioned Vanessa May. Does that ring?
Oh, yeah.
The violinist.
The violinist, yes, who was known for making like violin music edgy, and dare I say
it was very edgy,
and dare I say it, a little sexy as well.
Yeah. Too edgy, in my opinion.
And Lucy said, oh, she used to have a song called like The Devil's Trill or something like that.
Right.
Sure.
And we looked it up on YouTube, and it's got several million views or whatever, but it couldn't quite get the date on it. It's got to be like late 90s or early 2000s. It is a masterpiece of a video in terms of early.
What's it called? The Devil's Trill.
The Devil's Trill.
Okay,
was she on a surfboard?
No, she's surfing.
No, that's disappointing.
No, okay. What do you imagine she was?
Well,
she was surfing.
Now you've said that, she's surfing a giant violin.
She's surfing a giant violin.
Of course she is.
While wearing, again, think of a time period. So picture this young woman wearing kind of low-cut jeans, kind of like a crop top, a black cowboy hat, and she's surfing on a CGI violin.
I'm looking at it now.
It's a feast for the senses. And it is... I can't...
Wow.
Somebody thought that was the coolest shit in the world.
I do wonder where the idea of surfing and cool, like those two became infinitely and inseparably conjoined at some point in the 90s. And I don't like surf culture in terms of fashion still lives on now, like board shorts, you know, like a baggy t-shirt, sunglasses and flip-flops. If you wear those 4 things, then you're just a cool guy.
You're a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, pretty
But
cool dude.
I've never met a surfer. I've met people who have surfed, sure.
Yes.
But I've never met anyone who would define themselves as a surfer.
No, I'm not sure. I've met plenty of people who've surfed. And they are all, to be honest, very cool people. Like everyone I know who can surf. And I don't know whether I'm like subject to this cultural bias or not already, but like people who I see who can surf, I automatically think, fuck, you're cool.
Do you think
I don't know.
Do you think like surfers all just kind of die a little bit inside when they see, I don't know, the manager of a
Yes.
secondhand electronics store
Yes.
surfing on a Henry Hoover? Like
I would imagine that period did so much damage to the surfing community that it's not even recovered today.
because it's always the same. Like every shot, every picture is exactly the same. They're not actually surfing. They're just doing that pose. You know the pose. You know what I'm...
And I don't think surfers even really do that pose either. Like, I don't think an actual proper surfer would actually be seen surfing like that.
I bet they can't stand it.
Yeah.
I bet they
Surfers.
can't
They're like,
either.
this is bullshit.
I reckon... Say I'd ever had say I'd been, you know, that just that time in history where you're famous, and like they go, and your manager goes, you know, kid, you're an absolute superstar. We need you to come and shoot this promotional image, you know, photo shoot. You're going to be on the cover of Time magazine.
Woo!
We do want you to stand on. I'm trying to think what would define me. We do
book.
A giant pencil.
A big waterproof book.
We want you to stand on this book in a studio.
Or a whiteboard.
Here's an eraser, right? Here is a...
No, it's an oversized fountain pen.
Here's an oversized fountain pen, which we've built in a photo studio. It's in front of a green screen. There's 10 people here. This guy's balancing the lights. This guy's taking the shot.
Industrial Light and Magic made this pen. It
We
took them
will,
weeks.
we will pay you.
It cost $5 million.
We want you to stand. Here's a cowboy hat. We want you to stand on that fountain pen and just for 2 seconds look as though you're surfing the pen.
Yeah, surf the pen, and we'll superimpose ink waves in the background afterwards. It's fine.
Even if
God, that's cool. That's so cool.
Even
God,
if
that's
I
cool.
did it, the joy would be fleeting because I would have to go and kill myself out of shame immediately
you'd have
afterwards.
to.
Like,
So what you're saying is that surfers die inside when they see other people like horrify their sport, and the people who do it die inside as well. So this benefits no one.
Yeah.
who is it for?
And the public just think you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Somebody
Because the
must
thing is-
think it's cool. Somebody
The
must
thing
go
is that
like, yes.
I only think surfers are cool. When I see an image of a kid on a keyboard surfing like ones and zeros and surfing the worldwide fucking web,
Whoa.
I don't think he's cool. I think surfers are still cool, but I don't think he's cool. So it doesn't work.
I bet that kid, that haunts him, that image.
I shouldn't have never done that.
Doesn't it?
I should
He's
never
probably
have done
dead,
that.
isn't he?
He's probably dead.
You two both work in, you know, advertising, design,
Sure.
that sort of thing.
Sure, that's come up before.
Do you think your lives would have been made infinitely easier if 20 years ago you'd been in the business and all you had to do to sell anything was to have someone surfing on a
Yeah.
on a random object?
I think the
Yeah, you could've
90s
just gone,
the
people
90s
love
were
surfing.
were a golden age for advertisers because everyone just did the fucking same thing.
Yeah.
We didn't
like,
know
yeah.
any better. It was fine.
Put sunglasses on him, put some random shapes in the background, like neon colours. It doesn't matter if they don't go. And have him surfing. It's done. It's finished.
Done. Job done.
You could do like I'm picturing like the cover of like, oh, I don't know, the year is 2001 and it's Gardener's Weekly and there's Alan Titchmarsh on a marrow going like, whoa.
God, that's so cool.
Okay, actually, that's pretty cool.
Alan Titchmarsh is so cool.
Actually, if I saw a magazine with Alan Titchmarsh surfing a marrow on the cover of it, I'd pick that up to add to my just collection of
Yeah, my
important
collection of marrows.
artifacts of the time.
Give me something to sell. Maybe this is due for a comeback. But like, what's the product? What's the client? What are we selling?
What are we selling? We're selling slurry for pigs.
Okay.
So there's a pig, and he's surfing in his pigsty. No,
What's he wearing?
Trough. He's surfing a trough.
Oh, he's surfing a trough. I like it.
And it's got all this slurry in it. And he's like, I'm trying to catch the slurry while I'm surfing.
What are you
catching all the slurry?
Think about what you're saying.
No.
Think about what you're saying.
Never.
I'm not going to relate to an anthropomorphic pig surfing on slurry.
I didn't say it was anthropomorphic.
I want a farmer surfing on a pig in a sea of slurry.
Yeah, okay.
But who's the slurry for? Who are you selling to? The farmer or the pig?
I want an anthropomorphized mass of slurry riding a farmer on a sea of pigs. that's what I want.
That's thinking outside the box. Sold.
I want.
He's called Slurry Boy, and he's got sunglasses on.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Slurry, and I'm coming for you.
I want a
Sluzzer.
I want a slurry in the no. I want a pig.
Yep.
Riding a surfboard made of slurry.
Okay.
On a sea of slurry distribution vehicles, kind of
nice.
moving like liquid. And I want the font on the magazine cover to be made of farmers, kind of like stretched in.
What, like bending over like in an A?
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
What would you?
That would go viral now, though. Imagine if that came out now.
Yeah.
People would be all over that.
Maybe we should bring the whole surfing thing back.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm
we
saying.
work in advertising. Like, maybe we could get the whole surfing thing back on the road, because I think surfers are still cool.
Well, if we...
The funny thing is, in my mind, that pig's so cool that he's definitely wearing shades.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely wearing shades.
Well, the shades are a given. I mean, God.
That's another thing, though.
That was just in my mind without it prompted that.
Why are shades cool?
Yeah.
Like, I think we need to get into the political and the
Shades are
socio-political.
Cool, shades are cool because they block out most of a person's face.
So you don't know who they are.
Yeah, they had an air of mystery.
People generally just look awful, don't they?
People generally look awful, yeah.
That's why
I guess.
masks have been a lifesaver. I don't have to have my stupid face out.
If I wear a mask, my sunglasses and a hat, I could pass for a borderline normal-looking person.
I mean, nothing else. I mean, like naked from the chin down, but otherwise...
Yeah.
Yeah, masks have been great for, like, when I haven't shaved for a while and I've just got this big hobo beard on my face. And I'm like, oh, no, that's all right. I'm going to be wearing a mask anyway when I see anyone, so it doesn't matter. It's been brilliant.
I haven't shaved for a while. This is the thickest my beard has been in a while.
Yeah, but your beard looks good when it's long.
Very
Mine looks out
full.
of control.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I mean, good. It looks hairy.
Passable.
Yeah, passable.
Hairy.
Thank you.
Passable. Let's go with that.
That's the best one.
But again, just to round off this delightful topic, if the three of us were on like
A surfboard.
the cover of Podcasting Weekly,
oh my god, we should do this photo shoot.
it would be all three of us on. We'd all be surfing on the same giant microphone.
Yes.
And we'd all be like in a slightly different pose. We'd be like, whoa.
Whoa.
That has to happen. Like,
Yeah.
That's a great little thing you just said there, John. Like, oh, a throwaway joke, a goof for the podcast. No, this is serious now. Like, I want that image to be created, and I want it to be our new promo image for the show. Like, it's about time we
People
updated.
come up to us and go, I don't know what the surfing's about, but God, it's cool.
But God, you guys, because this is it. Like, the first time the three of us will actually ever be cool. I'm speaking for myself, but I know I'm speaking
I
for you
don't
guys
think
as
I'm
well.
ready for it. Like, I think I'd be like flying too close to the sun. I'd be surfing on a microphone too close to the sun.
Here's the thing. Like, what would you say if we did this and we changed our podcast artwork to the three of us riding a microphone on the water? And what if our listenership doubled?
Yeah.
Then...
I mean, for a week, and then they'd realise it wasn't about surfing.
They realised it was nowhere near as cool as the gnarly advertising led them to believe.
But for that week...
For that week, we'd be gogs among men.
One episode, we double our listenership, and then we just lose 50%, but that's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
But you're all
I say we do
picturing
it.
this, right? It's like the microphone is kind of like flying towards the camera, and it's the three of us all kind of like whoa, and it's got like a slight like trail behind it, kind of.
And the waves curving in the background, like we're in a sort of tunnel almost.
It's sound waves. Sound waves.
Oh.
Yes. Now we've started.
Also, I think what's key about those sorts of images is that the people who are posing on the thing that isn't a surfboard inevitably strike some somewhat awkward pose that isn't really anything like a really cool surfer pose would be. So they look out of place. They look a bit awkward. I think that's very, very important that we look not happy to be there.
Yes, because I want to be able to essentially taste the awkwardness from the photo shoot. Like, I want to be able to gauge the dimensions of the studio that photo was taken in based on the general anxiety on my face.
Yeah. I think this would be very easy to do. Like, we would basically get a big box. The three of us would stand on the box.
A green screen box.
A green box with a green screen behind, and then we'd comp everything else in somewhat badly, I'd say.
Yeah,
maybe with some iStock.
If it looked too good, it wouldn't look as cool.
Exactly. I'm not a fan of the water in this. I feel we should be flying through a void of possibilities. I want
Well, I quite like Chris's sound waves idea.
Yeah,
maybe we could get that working somehow.
How would you visualize that exactly?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I don't
absolutely.
know. That's not for me to worry about.
I guess
I'm just the ideas guy.
I guess that's my problem. Yay!
What a problem though.
What a brief that was. Thanks, clients.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That's my hate anyway. Although with the caveat of, I do acknowledge the inherent awesomeness of anybody wearing a cowboy hat and surfing on the tool of their profession.
Oh, for sure.
Good for you.
And surfers generally. Like I take my cowboy hat and sunglasses off to you.
It'd be like Pig Neuterer Weekly, and it's like it's like a guy in like an apron, kind of surfing on a pair of pliers. Like, whoa!
Oh no! Pair of bloody pliers. Oh, Chris, have you got a hate?
Yes, I have. Well, as you know, the internet is awful.
Yes.
And as you also know, social media is the worst of that awfulness.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
More specifically, I have grown to despise people who use jazzy fonts on Twitter and Instagram and things like that aren't in line with the fonts of the
I don't know how
social
they do
media
it.
platform.
How do they do it?
Well, this is far be it from me to say I hate something I don't understand, but I don't understand how they do it. So there are a lot of people on Twitter have their usernames, and it's all like in a nice italic font, or
it's upside down.
It's upside down, or it's in some sort of weird font. I don't know how they do it, and I just think it demonstrates their lack of personality.
See, they would argue the opposite.
Yes.
But then they've got to show it off through a font.
This coming from a man who clearly is not cool enough to express himself through a unique font.
Through a font.
I know, I'm cool enough to not have to do it.
Oh, wow.
You see?
Powerful words.
That is pretty cool.
By conforming, I am the cool one.
By working within the constraints.
I'm working within the set boundaries of the designer of the platform.
To still define your personality.
And yeah, I'm still able to get myself across in a manner
powerful.
which is befitting my personality in real
Your
life.
stature, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
But I don't know how they do it, and that bothers me. That I'm looking at something, I'm like, how do they do that? It looks shit, but I still want to know how you do it.
I think I've done this
social media,
once.
John.
There are web services where.
But that's the thing. You've got to go out of your way to do it, presumably.
Yeah.
I'm typing now. How to change your font on Instagram.
There we go.
Bibbidi Bob.
Yeah. On Twitter as well, it's your name, it's your profile name, and it's like a flower, and then like your name in handwriting, calligraphy, and then like another emoji, and it's weird looking.
Well, come on, Nick, educate us. What have you got?
What does it say, Nick?
I'm not getting anywhere at the moment. I think you have.
So we have to search, and we still don't know.
You have to use an app. I think you have to use another app.
Witchcraft.
I think back in the day, because I was doing it to make a joke on Twitter, but I believe I googled how do I get small text on Twitter, and there was like a little free web service where it's like you stick your text in a box and then it spits out.
That looks like what I've got here, like either an app or there's like a website where you put your text in and then you copy and paste it somehow onto Instagram.
You've got to look reasonably hard to do something, to look up something that takes a bit of effort to do, for me to ultimately look at the final product and go, fucking hell, that is shit.
Can't read that. I can't read that anyway.
I've also heard that this is the voice of reason jumping in.
How
That,
dare you.
those fonts are not very good for people who are visually impaired and might be using
Well,
like a screen reader.
there's another
to
reason,
translate.
which I didn't consider, but I will now.
Well,
Well,
no, I thought that's where you were
No,
coming from.
I just
Chris,
think it
as
makes
a
them look like
naturally
pricks.
conscientious man.
Conscientious. I have a friend who does this
Do
a
I
fair
know them?
amount on their Instagram posts.
Oh, good.
No.
Yeah.
Just as well, really. I feel.
But I mean, she always tends to choose a fairly readable font. But there are definitely some that I'm just like, what?
But I don't understand the point of it. Why? 'Cause surely you can express yourself through your tweets or through your posts or other
Yeah,
means
it's a bit weird,
on
isn't
social media. Why does your name have to be different to everybody else's?
Because she'll post like a picture of like, I don't know, I went on a walk and here's a tree that I saw, and then underneath it'll be the caption on the Instagram post where it's like, we went on a walk and saw a tree, and that's written in a different font, and I'm like, why though?
What's the point? What's the point?
I guess their reasoning might be that there are a lot of people on social media. There are a lot of
Sure.
people going for walks and seeing trees. And they're looking for the unique angle which will let them shine. Really, like how do I stand out? That's what they're saying.
That's it. There are a lot of Instagram posts about people going on walks and looking at trees, and I think that is somewhat symptomatic of 2020 and the fact that we've got fuck all to talk about right now.
Yeah, but if you have to go to that much effort to make people see your photo of a tree, it might not be worth posting.
Maybe it's not the best photo of a tree, but it's mine. You know, I feel quite attached to it.
Keep it to yourself.
Maybe this is your moment to go, maybe I don't post this.
Yeah. And I certainly don't go to the effort of looking up how to do a different font and doing it on that post. And that has taken me a long time to post a picture of a tree that I only saw for 2 seconds, and it's taken me 2 minutes to post a picture of it.
The thing is, I think it's difficult and it takes a while to look up for us because we're old and we're crap at things. Like, Ali started using TikTok. Not using it, but like watching TikToks.
I don't know what that is.
And then the other day she was like, it's a social media thing. Yeah. And then the other day she was like, well, maybe Big Punch should do some TikToks. And then we were looking at their app, and I was just like, I don't even know how to make a TikTok.
I can't even
let alone
find
let alone make a TikTok that performs well. Like, I have no idea. In the app itself, which you'd think would be designed specifically for people to make TikToks within, I didn't even know how to make a fucking TikTok. Let alone what a TikTok actually is.
What is a TikTok?
It's a short video.
This is what it's come to. God, we're just explaining trends.
This is my point, Chris, is that you don't know what a TikTok is, and you're complaining about these people using these fonts, and I think that you may be the problem.
I've seen the video where there's a line, right?
Oh, right,
It gradually goes down, and then people pretend their head's cut off or something.
Yeah, very good.
Is that a
really
TikTok?
funny. I think it's a TikTok filter.
Oh, there
yes.
you go.
TikTok used to have a different name, didn't it?
Songify or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Not heard of that either.
The gimmick is you can record short videos. And
that's really it.
And you can add...
If only there were another platform on which you could do that.
Yeah, but they're very short. They're meant to be like... I can
Well,
watch
this is the
30
thing.
of
A lot
these
of
while
them
having
are.
a piss, sort of thing.
I mean, that is the idea. They're meant to be short, consumable videos, but
I mean,
it's essentially Vine combined with music. That's really what it is.
So the idea is you could... I think it started out with people filming video. God, we're so out of touch. This is astonishing.
Are we just sitting around talking about things we don't know now?
Guys, you say, like, when do I know
hate
I'm
what we
old?
don't like.
When is it a gradual process or does it hit overnight? It's
just now,
happened.
episode 74 of a show called Haze.
It just happened, guys.
happened.
Write it down in your notebooks now.
Yeah, it would be like young people with working joints would record a video of them miming to...
Or lip sync.
Or lip syncing is a much better way of putting it. Thank you. Lip syncing to their favorite pop song.
If you will.
And then they would share it, maybe doing a choreographed dance number in their living room. Indeed. And then people around the world would go mental for it and reshare it or respond to it.
That's how it began.
I don't.
But now TikTok is basically just a short video platform where you can put music or like sync to music if you want to.
Or you could create a trend Chris Ray. So you could go like
Again, I could do it again.
you could go like the dog fart challenge, where like it's you and you filmed Daisy and she spins on the spot and she lets out a little fart.
I mean, I'd have to be following her around with the camera.
Well, again, this is why
you've got nothing better to do.
yeah, that's true. Actually,
this is why none of us are TikTok stars, because none of us have put the effort in.
No, none of us are TikTok stars because I don't know how to fucking make a TikTok.
Would I get money from being a TikTok star?
You can be. You can.
Can
yes.
you? How though?
Well, I mean, they are. So, I mean, that's just another question, John.
Can I like tattoo a company's brand on my arm or something?
I think TikTok has advertising on the platform.
But this is this is the same thing with Instagram, where people were like, how do we monetize it? How do we suddenly get money out of it? And there's a whole, I was going to say culture, but there's a whole kind of like profession of, I'm a slightly beautiful person on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And I post photos of myself being beautiful, just existing because God, look at me. And you get like hundreds of thousands of followers, but you're like, how do I monetize it? How do I make money? So every other post is like them being beautiful, posing. And they're also holding like an energy drink in like a really kind of like the label is very like in a pose that it's not like they've drunk it. Nobody's holding it.
They haven't opened the can.
So they're kind of like reclining on like a beach going like, oh, I'm so beautiful. And I'm also holding a bottle of Scourge.
I love Scourge
energy reckoner. And then the post will be like, I love chilling with my friends on a beach, and there's nothing I love more than drinking a refreshing quart of Scourge.
I don't even know how much a quart is.
But that's a social media influencer, and I don't mind that because that's people capitalizing on a platform, which is what people have always done. But if they were then to put the brand in a funny font, I'm like, what's the point? Why have you gone to that level of effort for it to look slightly shitter?
What if
what
if someone like Doritos reached out to Twitter and said, hey Twitter, hey Jack,
hey Jack Twitter,
come on in, sit on down, we want a font for Twitter which captures the exclusive zinger fresh flavor of our new Doritos brand. And they were like, we're onto it. So then you're suddenly getting anytime anybody on Twitter...
That already sounds like a lot of effort to do something slightly different to what everyone else is doing, and for people to look at it and think, what's the point of that? Are they going to sell a comparable amount of Doritos through changing the font?
You work in advertising. Twitter. You tell me.
No, they're not.
But they'll do
Definitely
it.
Not.
That's the kind of question I get asked all the fucking time. It's like, if you make my leaflet look better, will I get more sales? And I'm like, ooh, I guess. I mean, I hope so.
But that's a whole design. That's a whole thing, not just changing a font for no reason.
But you know the discussions have been had for a plug-in to Twitter where anytime anybody types the word fresh, zingy, or gotta have it in any context, that text turns orange and dusty.
The thing is, that can be taken wildly out of context.
The problem with the Doritos font is it's all triangles. It's really hard to read.
Yeah, exactly. It's just normal letters in triangles. It's pointless.
It's completely pointless. I fucking hate Doritos. Actually, I don't. They're really good.
Anyway, next time, listener, you're on social media and you see someone with a fun font, just think to yourself, they're probably really boring in real life.
But also, listeners, if you would like to tweet directly to the Show Called Hate Twitter with some interesting fonts,
we are the Twitter account with a unique font. Oh no!
Just target your tweet towards Chris with a fancy font. And,
that's fine. I'll take it.
He will reply because he'll be so furious he won't be able to help it.
Yeah. Interestingly, I've deleted the Twitter app off my phone just before the American election, just preempting a disastrous result.
That was probably why
I deleted Twitter.
That's remarkable for you because you were the last.
Just come to my house.
You were the last Twitter user of the three of us, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still go on, but I don't go on as frequently.
I'm basically Nick's secretary on Twitter.
Just pop round.
Yeah. Every now and then I'll get a message from John like, oh, Nick, someone tweeted about something you made, and I'm like, oh, really? Oh, cool.
I better have a look.
Please send them my best.
Yeah,
Fondest regards, John Locke, brackets, in the absence of Nick H.
I post John a handwritten scroll, just like, could you send this to the Twitter user?
Well, Nick, I guess in this joyous merry-go-round, you must have a love.
I do have
surely.
a love. My love is Porkbox.
Oh my goodness
Now
me!
that's not a.
This is a family show.
Filth.
That's not a thing.
Bit of grot,
I said it,
honestly.
I said it hoping that people would think that it was some sort of like subscription box that you can subscribe to that gives you pork every month.
Red hot
And the
pork.
thing is,
I would be all over that.
Exactly, right? That's exactly what I would be into. But essentially, I got that in a form for my birthday. And I feel like I want to bring this up because like it is in direct response to last episode where I talked about how one of the greatest Christmas presents I've ever received was a pack of sausages from Ali's dad. And I stand by that.
An unsealed bag of cold sausages.
Freezer ready, sealed in cling film. It genuinely was. It was just supermarket shelf sausages, but from France, and they were special because they were amazing.
Mouth ready.
Except they weren't. I had to cook them for fuck's sake. But my good friend Dave, who I believe I mentioned on that podcast as well, took this very much to heart and sent me a box from Amazon of like pork snacks. So they were like prepared meats, crackling, salamis, all in this like
all the
Amazon box.
travelable porks.
Yeah.
Like all the porks that can journey.
The kind of porks that can live on, you know, beyond me even, hopefully. And he sent this to me and he said, like, you know, RE, the most recent podcast episode where you said the greatest thing you ever received was pork. Happy birthday. And it was incredible. But not only that, we've since talked about it. And I genuinely think there's capacity here for a subscription box, you know, because they're all the rage. You know, you get like Loot Crate or whatever, where you get like gaming stuff, or you get like Ali has one where she gets like makeup stuff.
There's lots of beer
month,
ones as
but it's
well
like,
these days.
You know, there's beer ones exactly. Why
Yeah.
isn't there a pork? Why isn't there a pork one? There should just be a pork one. Because I got this box of pork snacks, and I'm still working through it because he got me a decent amount of pork, if I'm honest. And it keeps. It keeps like one of the best things is I open up a pack of pork crackling and there's some silica gel in there to keep it dry. Yeah. So don't accidentally eat
I'm
that
sure
because that's
happened.
not for eating. But whip that out.
Whip
that out and chow down.
I do like how legally you're not allowed to post food, and then like the distributor rocks up to the post office with Porkbox, and they're like, "Yeah, you're good."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is.
It's all right. Pork's an acronym. It's fine.
Yeah, we scanned this box, and it technically counts as packaging.
It's not food. I mean, is that true? You can't post food. Is that actually true?
I know in America you can't post alcohol.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
Because it might explode.
I probably got that wrong. I remember someone saying like you can't just put a beer
That's
in
a
a
shame.
box and post it to a friend.
Because I was amazed to find out you could order food from Amazon. I didn't realize this was even
That feels
possible.
wrong somehow, doesn't it?
It does.
I don't know
though.
why.
It massively does. Like, I've ordered crisps from Amazon before. Crisps I can't find anywhere else.
Do you get them on Prime?
Next
Get
day
them
delivery.
Next day.
Oh, same day. Jeez.
Same day if I'm lucky, by drone. Jeff Bezos just sends me a sausage by drone. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So
It's quite a conceptual love because, like, I did receive a box of pork, but I think my love is more the idea that there could be a subscription box of pork. And I think this should begin. I think this should happen.
So this is really your kind of Dragon's Den pitch, really. Yeah.
Yeah, you in?
Porkbox.
I'm asking for 200 grand for a 5% share in Porkbox.
And then they say, what makes you value your business that highly? And you just go, Porkbox.
I just open the box and I just show it to them.
Just keep saying nothing but Porkbox until they invest.
Porkbox.
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 And then like you've got like a hype man who just goes like,
Yeah. He's got an air horn. Brr, 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 every time you say Porkbox. Brr.
What's the logo for Porkbox? Because I'm picturing like clean line art, very simplistic, and it's like
I'm
a square
picturing
with
a
a pig's head
sausage.
in the middle.
I'm picturing a sausage surfing on a bacon rasher.
I'm picturing a cube shaped pig with a hatch opening and just like sausages spilling out of it.
That's Porkbox.
That's Porkbox,
It's
kids.
Porkbox.
Subscribe, you bastards!
Order a Porkbox, you shits.
Oh, yeah. So Porkbox,
Why
please.
do you value your company so highly? It's Porkbox.
It's Porkbox!
Porkbox, come on!
You hang on. I'm just looking at the paperwork here. You valued your company at 38 billion US dollars.
Yeah.
Why do you? Can I just ask, what is it that's taken, in your opinion, the company to that level of worth? Well, it's Porkbox.
Porkbox, isn't it? It's Porkbox.
It's pork. It was always Porkbox.
It was always Porkbox.
Yeah, that's the tagline because that suggests it's been around longer than you ever known.
I like
it was
the
always
idea.
Porkbox.
I like the idea that the tagline is mouth ready. Porkbox, mouth ready.
Mouth ready. Oh no.
And the thing is, it sounds like something that probably already should exist. And the fact that it doesn't suggests that there's a need that isn't being filled, and all the advertising would be like, man, I wish I could have pork sent to me on a regular basis. I wish I could have salt and pig goods on my doorstep.
advert.
And then
It's
like
just-
his mate turns and just like puts his hand on his shoulder, just looks at him and goes, "It's always been Porkbox."
It's Porkbox.
This is the thing. It's capitalizing on what you said, John, about it somehow feeling wrong that you can send food in the post. Like, you could start with that. It's like, doesn't it just feel wrong to get pork in the post? But it's always been Porkbox.
It's always been Porkbox.
It's always been Porkbox.
And when you looked back and saw only one set of footprints in the sand, that's because Porkbox was with you. That's because you were carrying a Porkbox.
That's because pork boxes don't have feet, you idiot.
Oh god.
Porkbox.
Oh, that's Porkbox.
It's always been Porkbox.
Porkbox,
God.
mouth ready.
Oh,
Mouth ready by now.
it's already waiting for you. Where do I order? You don't have to.
They've been sat in warehouses for
It'll
years.
find you.
Where can I get a Porkbox? Shh, shh,
Dear child.
sweet child. Porkbox is where. Porkbox is already at home.
It's always been Porkbox.
It's always been Porkbox.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm still dying. No, it's always been Porkbox. It's always been Porkbox.
It's always been
That was really good.
Porkbox.
Okay, well, my love is shit by comparison, but I love. This is just a genuine. I love lost media now found.
Oh, okay. Stuff that you've personally lost, or
Yeah. So I used to be. This is just a genuine anecdote now. I used to really like a podcast, quite an old podcast from probably like 2007, 2008. So like really old.
Oh wait, I know what this is.
Yeah,
I
and
can't remember the name of it, but I remember you saying it was gone forever.
Yeah, I discovered it probably about, was that 2016? It was actually just after I had my appendix out. And I remember kind of like binging this podcast, of which there are only ever like 84 episodes, which is more than we've done so far. Recorded in like 2007. And it was just really funny. There's a couple of guys I admired, and they just kind of had like such great chemistry. It just made me laugh. It really, really made me
They were
laugh.
talking about webcomics, weren't they?
Yeah, from back in the day, and it just really tickled me. And even at the time, it felt like a time capsule because it was this old show, just this little,
Just like this show.
just like this
in many
show. Yeah, timeless. No, we're timeless, is what I'm trying to say.
Worthless.
Oh, yeah.
No, the other one.
Oy. And and then it disappeared. Like one day, it just went. And I remember contacting the kind of service provider, like the hosting company, which is an old, early Web 1.0 kind of podcast host called TalkShoe. And they actually got back to me and said, hey, yeah, we suffered a real bad server crash. We lost a ton of data.
Oh, no.
We're not prioritizing anything that's more than a decade old. So we're just, who cares? It's just not coming back. And I was like, oh, it really is gone forever. Oh, and I just had to learn to move on. And then yesterday, I just got into my head. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that show. I'm going to Google it. And I Googled it. And from a couple of months ago, someone had posted on a forum going, hey, does anybody remember that old podcast? I used to love that. And then it disappeared one day. And then someone else posted, I think I've got it on a really old iPod downloaded. And I reckon I can get some third-party software to like rip it off the iPod.
Oh my God.
And they did. And they'd uploaded every episode to a Google Drive folder. And I was able to access and download them. And I created an account just to post on that forum to say thank you.
Yeah.
Because this is the most obscure thing in the world. I think it was like a handful of people worldwide who would even care about this podcast.
Oh my God.
But suddenly it lives again. And I've been revisiting it in the last 24 hours.
So awesome. Have you backed the shit out of that? Like backed it up big time? Because
yeah, I've got two backups at the moment. Like I'm never parting with it now.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Because it was heartbreaking. Because again, it's that weird thing with like stuff on the internet. Like you kind of assume, oh yeah, the computers are good. It'll stick around. I'm never gonna lose anything.
I won't
That's
need
the
to
thing.
download that.
In this world we live in now, like you can go on YouTube and you can search for that weird advert, or like you look for that Vanessa May song, you know, and it's like we'll always find it. We always find the things we look for. Like I remember looking up a Burger King Kid Vid advert, you know, and I found it.
Oh, you found it?
Oh, I found it. You know, someone had to take, this is the thing you forget, is that someone had to take the time to record that off of 90s telly and put it onto a video on YouTube. Someone had to do that. And yet, there's enough people in the world that practically everything you can think of has been saved and preserved in some way. So we just assume everything's going to be there. But the truth is that it is possible for A, something not to be there, or B, something to be lost. And you got it back. That's mad cool.
I know. And again, it's a small victory, only for me, but yeah, I don't know. It just feels like this weird little piece of internet archaeology where, like, in the grand scheme of human history, this isn't even a blip. It is the most inconsequential thing ever. But just for like 6 months in these two people's lives, they recorded a weird little podcast which a bunch of people enjoyed, and then it went away. And then someone found it again. It's amazing. Like it just makes me happy in a weird little way.
Have they publicly declared themselves delighted that it's back?
No, because oddly enough, they're not friends anymore. That's kind of almost what makes it sadder. It's like the dream kind of ended. Like they just this one period of time when they were really good mates, and then they clearly had some falling out, and they don't interact or work together anymore.
Oh dear.
There you go. That'll be us in a couple of years.
Yeah, give it a month or so.
We'll back this all up though.
As long as you keep bringing out Porkbox gems, you're going to keep the dream alive.
I'll keep the podcast going with Porkbox. It's always been Porkbox.
It's always been Porkbox.
What have you got, Chris?
Go on, then.
My love, and I apologise if this has come up before. Liz thinks it has, but I don't think it has, so I'm just going to go with it.
Okay.
My love is putting lyrics to songs or theme tunes that don't have lyrics.
Okay. I mean, my memory is categorically, biologically awful.
Yeah.
So I don't...
John's looking at me like he's not sure. Now, I'm sort of pandering to you with this, John, because I saw you retweeted something recently of a guy who set lyrics to the X-Men theme.
That was very good.
That was very good.
And
it was just like X-Men, and that was the whole lyric. The thing is, I looked at it and I thought I do that all the time. I do that for pretty much every show I can think of.
Yeah.
So I do it for Britain's Got Talent, and I did this at uni, and it used to piss everyone off. So the end, Britain's Got Talent theme tune goes da 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 da. So I always go, Britain's Got Talent, it has. And that just used to annoy people.
That's amazing.
I still do it 10 years later.
That's really good.
I do it on The Chase.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bit that goes dun 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 dun, and I go, It's time for the final chase. I just set it to everything, and I throw a fuck in there sometimes.
Ali,
Like for the
Ali sings
for the
Deal or
Bake
No
Off.
Deal to the Deal or No Deal theme tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't know, but it's kind of like Deal.
I don't. I'm
Deal or no
I don't know if I'm
Deal
feeling
or
out
no
of touch from the world or just from you, Chris Ray. But you're just describing shows where, if gun to my head, I couldn't hum
You
the
must
theme
know
tune.
The Chase. Bradley
No,
Walsh.
I've never seen The Chase.
I mean,
Do you know the Bake Off theme tune? I go.
No, I've never seen the Bake Off.
So to that I go, the fucking Bake Off. The fucking Bake Off.
that's a bit naughty, that one.
I throw a fuck
Threw
in
a
there.
fuck in there.
I do it for a lot. I do it for a lot of shows. I'm sure it's very annoying. For
Well, you're
this.
just naturally.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
You're just naturally a very, very musical kind of talented person, really.
I famously hate music, but apparently I sing all the time.
Here's the thing, though, Chris. Like, I think your last love was putting on a voice for your dog.
Yeah.
So this means that living with Chris Ray is a combination of him singing to theme tunes of TV and being the dog. It's just
It's a living nightmare.
it's constant assault, really, isn't it?
It never stops.
Has this always been a feature of your life, or did it kind of begin to creep in during lockdown?
I feel like I've always done this. No, because Britain's Got Talent one I did at university, which was 10 years or so ago. So I think I've always done it.
I know Liz may not like it, but I'm sure all your other friends in the house, like the lamp you've drawn a face on, and the football you've got a handprint on. You know, I'm sure Mr. Ball and Mr. Lamp both enjoy it greatly.
They love it. They love it. And I think the dog, when she's not sleeping, probably loves it as well.
Probably.
But I enjoy doing that, and I'm not going to stop.
No, don't.
So, you know.
Well, in reference to whether or not we've mentioned it before, I should take this moment to say that listener and good friend of the show, Jack, is actually in the process of starting from the beginning of the show, and he's recording every love and hate from every episode for us.
That's good.
That is actually really valuable. I genuinely.
I have no idea what I said in any of the previous
Neither
shows.
do I. And he's working through it. He's recording it all, and he's going to provide it to us. And I think we should title him the official archivist of the show.
That's fine. That's fine.
And then we can find out for sure whether you have repeated yourself here. So
it's too late now.
yeah, well, it is now because we're talking about it now. So that's that.
Well, this is great though, isn't it? Because this means that Jack's doing the hard research that will allow us.
Jack's doing the work that we should.
Well, it will allow us to do some kind of retrospect.
Sorry. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But it will allow us to do some kind of special anniversary thing. We could actually look back. Maybe when we hit 100, we can look back on the top hates or whatever.
What are we on now? What's this? What number is this? 74?
Did you say it earlier? Like 74 or something like that?
No
that was
pressure,
a
Jack.
guess.
No pressure, Jack. But we need you to be done.
We need you
by
to be
the time
done
we reach
in
100.
50 weeks, a year. Because there's that.
So you've got a year.
74.
Jack.
We're on 74.
We are 74. Hey, good work. Good work.
Jack is a podcast animal, so I think he'll probably get through us all in that time.
And I guess we'll also realise how uncreative we are and how many times we've repeated ourselves.
Absolutely. I reckon we have it. I reckon we've already done it at least once. Without a doubt.
Did you know that the Star Trek theme tune was meant to have lyrics?
The
Star Trek.
Yes.
Star Trek.
Yeah, you've basically...
That's E.T. That's E.T.
That's E.T. Well,
That's E.T.
You basically guessed what the first two lyrics of the Star Trek theme tune are.
What is the Star Trek theme tune? What's E.T. then?
Well, what you did.
That's E.T.
Yeah,
I sang a
That's
different
E.T.
tune to that. I sang a different tune to that.
What he did right
And
was
Star-
sing the right
Star Trek.
tune.
Yeah. Star Trek is something else.
There you go.
Okay.
That one.
I never watched Star Trek.
Oh, okay. Well, that was pointless then.
You're too busy watching
But
The
I can
Chase,
imagine-
I imagine.
I'm too busy watching The
Chase
Chase
and E.T.
and making up lyrics.
I think that's
Bake Off.
just again. I think that just shows you have a creative soul.
Yeah, exactly.
Deep down.
It's a very nice way of looking at it.
You say you don't like music, but I think there's a musician in you waiting to burst out.
Yeah.
And
Imagine
splatter
if
all
I was
over
good
the
at
walls.
music after all these years of hating it. That'd be
I
fun.
sometimes think about this. What if I have some talent that I never tried, and I'm actually amazing at surfing or something? Like, actually, I know I'm not amazing at surfing because I tried surfing once and I nearly drowned. So that's not the one. But we all have a secret talent.
That is,
Just saying.
yeah. Maybe like I've never whittled, but maybe if
There
I
you
pick
go.
up a knife and some wood, that'll be my thing.
Or you'll cut yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a given.
Let's do it and let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, have we exhausted that little avenue? Have we?
I think so.
Oh, sure.
Groovy.
I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it very much.
So I guess my question then to the team is, what do we think won? Was it love or hate? I think
I'm
I
going
know.
for love today. I'm going for love as well.
Rev, you're
It's moot.
Irrelevant.
Your moot
Although
point.
I do like the idea of Porkbox, and I'm going to steal that idea.
Porkbox brought it back basically.
Yeah.
Brought the love back.
Yeah, like every time
I think we were heading down Hate Avenue before that.
every time I felt the darkness kind of growing, I just thought about Porkbox and the joy it's brought me over the years.
Yeah, over the years being very little time.
And
Being the last 25 minutes.
and to
But
be
the thing is, it
absolute,
was always.
it's always been Porkbox. To be absolutely clear, Nick, the logo is a square, a cube,
It's a cube-shaped pig.
a cube-shaped
So it's a pig. It's a pig as though it's forced into a mold of a cube, and there's a hatch opening in maybe its side, maybe its belly, and sausages are spilling out of that hatch. It's very cartoony, so it's not gory.
It's not gory. No.
Actually, there is a lot of blood for quite a cartoony image, which is weird. But it's not gory.
No, and yeah, the sausages are kind of pouring into the upturned, kind of baby birding mouth of the consumer. Kind of.
Yeah.
And they're screaming as well.
They represent
sausages.
the subscriber, yeah. Or it could also be the cupped hands, like Chris Ray's puke hands. It could be that as well. It could be pouring into the puke hands.
Like the pig stuff in his face.
What, there's a
Yeah, it's
second pig eating the.
Yeah, or it's like an Ouroboros sort of thing. So the sausages are spilling out and they're going into the mouth of the pig who they were spilling out from. So it's like an infinite cycle of pork.
Circle of life.
It's the circle of life. It's the circle of life.
It's Porkbox.
It's always been.